Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. And it's something that I felt that I should give my piece and my opinion in respect to what is going on currently in the United States. And this has to do with Jimmy Kimmel Live. His show was canceled because of his response to the current situation in the US at the moment. Um, as a member who is a part of the media, um, who would have also who would have also studied journalism, I felt that even as I'm trying to launch my network at this moment, I am trying to broaden the scope in respect to my work when it comes to media and talk about the ethics and the principles. I felt that it is important that I give my take on this issue. So I just want to read over some information in respect to how I felt um, in respect to this situation that has to do with Jimmy Kimmel. It's a show that I've always enjoyed, watching it from time to time. I believe he's quite funny in the way in which he deliver his information and also the message in a very comedic way. So I am a little bit also sad about it to hear that the show has been canceled. First, we heard that the show has been suspended until further notice. And then also, I read on social media that they were asking him to write an apology or make some payments to the individual that he was talking about, wife. Not sure if that was propaganda, but the final thing right now is that the show has been canceled completely. So it's going to be no longer be on the air. This is a sad day for the media community. So it is something that we need to take very seriously. And I just want to go over this information with you because I've been fighting for the past couple of days for what's going on in Guyana. And we've been talking about the press and the freedom of the press. And with this in mind, I want to say that this is something that can happen to anyone in any country at this moment because if it's happening in the United States, it's possible that it can happen in Guyana where media personnel can be silenced. So, um, this is what I have to say, and this is my take on the issue. Now, ABC pulling the Jimmy Kimmel show is not only unfortunate but downright ridiculous. It raises serious concerns about how freedom of speech is being attacked in today's world. Once upon a time, late night television was a space where comedy, criticism, and commentary could freely mix to challenge power and spark discussion. Now, even with these platforms are being censored. What is happening in the world today? When entertainers, journalists like myself, and ordinary people can no longer speak their minds without fear of being silenced. This is not just about Jimmy Kimmel or ABC, it's about the dangerous trend of limiting voices that question, challenge, or make us uncomfortable. As Guyanese, we must pay attention to history because history teaches us that once free expression is cut off in one place, the ripple effects spread everywhere. Freedom of speech is not a luxury, it is a right. What is undermined abroad, it sets a precedent that can eventually reach our shores. So we have to be very careful. So let us be mindful. Today it is Jimmy Kimmel. Tomorrow it could be us. And it could be any one of us because we're seeing exactly what's going on in Guyana currently. where um, where this entire situation is being um, this entire situation is just getting out of hand and out of control. We've seen where a journalist in Guyana, or as a matter of fact, we've seen many media companies that were omitted from a press conference, which was supposed to have all the media party there to cover that event and to hear about the things that the current government have in store for the country. But instead, many of the media companies were shut out. So, with this happening in the United States, and we know what's causing it, it is something that we should take very serious because we are seeing this issue going so far throughout the length and breadth that it is possible that it can happen to any of the media also in Guyana. Now, luckily, most of the media, I'm sure, are privately owned. But if you are locked out from every event, if you are locked out from everything that is happening, you will solely have to depend on a second party, or if a video is shown somewhere, and then you will have to use that to create your information. As a matter of fact, to create your news piece. So, this issue with Jimmy Kimmel, it is very sad, and we should condemn it. Um, I stick with Jimmy Kimmel in this case because I feel that the way in which it happened, it shouldn't have happened. Now let's have a quick look at a video that was shown on the Don Lemon show, and this is what he believed. He think that would have caused this show to be canceled earlier before it was suspended. It was suspended, and now it has been canceled. So let's play this video, and then we can take it from there. All right, here we go.
For the weekend, with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
Well, you see, there you have it. And if anybody knows Jimmy Kimmel, he's someone that is always making fun of persons, individuals in high places. And the way he did it, it was in a comedic way. And not only that it was in a comedic way, but we can see that he was showing the facts where a question was asked to the president of the United States about his state of mind after what happened to Charlie. So he wanted to, as a matter of fact, the reporter wanted to get an understanding as to how the president was feeling, but president quickly jumped into something else by after saying that, whatever information he provided, he quickly jumped into a whole different idea. And I think that the media carried it, and everybody thought that it was really funny. But the serious thing here is that coming out of that show, um, the ABC said that this kind of behavior does not reflect their values, and this is the reason why Jimmy Kimmel, another main person in the media icon, his show has been canceled. And like I said, this is something that we should take very seriously because once it's happening across the, you know, across the sea, across the river in another country, and this is North America, this is in the West. Once it's happening here, it can happen anywhere else. So, ladies and gentlemen, take note. Freedom of speech, like I said earlier on, it is not a luxury, it is a right, and it is something that we should be able to come and speak our minds in a very respectable way. In the sense of Guyana right now, the media, obviously, the freedom of speech, as we can see it, it is currently under threat. So let's take note. And with Jimmy Kimmel, we're here. We're going to continue to advocate and we're going to continue to support you. And I know for sure, like I was saying to my friend, that Jimmy Kimmel is going to be back. And when he's going to be back, it's going to be bigger and better. All right. Thank you so much for watching and do have a beautiful evening. Take care.